What we currently have is some preliminary information right now in regards to an investigation. We have limited information that we can share at this time. However, we had an incident that happened in the 14900 block of East State Fair at approximately 5 p.m. on last night. Officers were out on routine patrol when they observed an individual trying to get into a vehicle utilizing what appeared to be a Jimmy device. The officers began their investigation based on reasonable suspicion that a crime was occurring or had been committed. From what we know now, the individual had refused to give the officers his name. The officers tried to detain the individual, and the individual continued to be uncooperative. Officers used force to take the individual into custody. At this time, the individual is no longer in custody. The officers are currently on administrative duty pending the investigation. The officers involved, we have obtained their body-worn camera for review. Again, this is under investigation, and we will continue to be transparent with the community throughout the process. With that, I will ask or allow a few questions.
Family out there told us last night that there were several people, witnesses out there related to this man that were trying to tell or trying to vouch for him in some capacity. Does body camera footage reflect that at all?
So I have reviewed some of the body cam footage, and you do see several individuals engaging the officers while they're doing the investigation. And again, this is an open investigation, so I am very limited on the information that I can share.
We spoke to the family, and so they've got several questions, but I'm just going to pick two of them. One is, because I'm assuming you've seen the body cam footage, you've also seen the footage that's on social media. So the family wants to know, were the protocols and the training followed?
So again, because it is an open investigation, I'm very limited on what I can share at this time, but I do know that we will look at all body cam footage and see if there are situations of training that need to be addressed, or if these are situations where discipline may have to be administered.
Another thing that the family was also asking is, they mentioned about one of the officers who was present there was really courteous with them. They asked them the right questions, listened to their concern, and they were praising that officer. He was from Gang Squad. They don't know his name, but their thing is they need more officers like that, because right now the community, or at least they feel, the family feels like the police officers are out to get them. How do you answer that?
So it's good to hear that they did find some positive in a situation that appeared to have some issues and concerns. And one of the things is we do training, and we continue to do training. And when we have situations where we have to look at how the officers are trained, do they need additional training, and then we make sure that that is being administered. And each situation is unique in and of itself. And when we look at time of day, circumstances that led to the investigation, and then what we try to do again is to make sure that we look at these situations and determine the best resolution for them.
Regardless of what happened and why we got to this point, during one of the videos we saw some community members actually bear hugging and grabbing officers, trying to kind of break things up. As far as you understand, I mean, was there any taser deployed, weapon deployed? I mean, it seemed like there was some restraint used at that point in time by the officers.
Yes, and there is a lot of video that we need to go through to be able to determine the actions that were taken, not only by the officers, but by the citizens that were there on scene at the time. And therefore, I'll refrain from answering any of those questions until we've been able to review all video to determine why certain situations took place.
As far as the officers involved, have any of them been accused of excessive force previously?
Again, that is under investigation, and those are questions that will be answered throughout the investigation.
I have three questions. One is, there was a gun that was pointed. It seemed to be pointed out at community members in the video. Do you have any comment on that?
So yes, there was a weapon deployment. It was at a low ready. However, there was a dog on scene that was at one point asked by individuals there to release the dog for officer safety. They did have it at a low ready in case that release was done.
Are you saying that they were pointing at the dog and not necessarily at
When we talk about a low ready, it's pointed towards the ground. Therefore, if it has to be utilized, it's in a position where they can take immediate action.
Okay. And then, do you know if the people in the video were family members of the man who was arrested?
Most appear to be family members of the individual, yes.
And then, last question, you had mentioned some officers were placed on administrative duty. Can you, sorry, you might have already said this, can you repeat how many officers and if that means that they're suspended or just placed on like an administrative position?
In situations like this, we do put them in administrative capacity. One, because we have to look at all the totality of the circumstances. And so right now we have 2 that we have on that administrative restriction at this time as we continue to go through this investigation.
You know that videos like these, when they surface, they can potentially incite anger and that kind of thing. Now that we're all covering it, what do you ask of the community as we continue to cover this and as you guys investigate?
Yeah, one of the things we ask of the community is to have an open mind and then again to participate in forums where we can have those courageous conversations about what they see, what they expect from law enforcement, and to walk through it and talk about it and hopefully get to an understanding of, you know, the importance of law enforcement, the importance of complying with law enforcement so that we can have the best results in situations where again, it appeared that a crime was being committed, which led them to the investigation and into this incident.
What was your initial reaction when you did watch the video? Were you concerned? Were you, frustrated? Like any type of reaction you felt?
Well, when you see videos like that, there are going to be concerns. Concerns for the community, concerns on how they may view law enforcement because they're seeing one side of a video at the time. And therefore, we always want to make sure that, again, we're transparent in getting out information, letting them know that, yes, we have seen the video, we've seen what they have seen, and we want to investigate it, make sure that if there are training issues, those training issues are addressed, and quite naturally, if there's discipline, that discipline is rendered in these types of situations.
You did speak about this suspect, I guess, once being in custody, but no longer that's the case. Is he going to face any charges or anything out of this or anyone else at all?
Currently, there are no charges pending for this individual.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming.
How many
Oh,
officers were
really quickly, okay, can I ask about something also? So,
She's not prepared to speak on anything else. Yeah,
the explosion that's over on Gratiot.
that's the fire department. Explosion, you said explosion? Yeah, that's the fire
Just
department.
wonder if there was a criminal investigation because
Not
they
at
said
this
someone
time.
went inside.
I don't think so at this time.
Yeah.
Not at this time. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
for coming.
Thank you.